Welcome back to the channel LT Gamers. My name is Tom, and today we're going to get ready to save humanity from an intergalactic menace in a review of Xenonauts 2. This is a turn-based strategy game developed by Goldhawk Interactive and combines intense tactical shooter elements with strategic gameplay. Before we jump into the video, please consider dropping us a like if you enjoy our content, comment your thoughts of whether you're looking forward to this game or not, and of course, feel free to subscribe to our journey. So we have the release set for this on the 18th of July and it will be coming out in early access. We've had access to this game for some time and I've got almost 20 hours in it, so I feel like I'm qualified enough to make assessment and judgment on the different aspects of the game. So Xenonauts 2 aims to surpass its acclaimed predecessor and deliver an immersive experience. As the commander of a multinational military organization, you're going to lead covert operations worldwide to combat the insidious alien threat. You will need to manage resources, conduct research, and prepare your ground troops for pulse-pounding tactical battles. The fate of Earth hangs in the balance, and every decision you make will determine victory or annihilation. So join me today as we explore Xenonauts 2 in depth. We're going to examine its gameplay mechanics, graphics, storyline, and more. And together we're going to make a determination whether the long-awaited sequel lives up to its predecessor's legacy. Should you join the ranks of the Xenonauts once again, or is this a mission better left to someone else? Let's find out in this review of Xenonauts 2, Should You Buy? So here we are in Xenonauts 2, and I thought the best place to start this review is to show you how the game setup looks. So when we hit new game, we get the campaign option, and we get the choice to name our campaign as we like, and then choose a difficulty. You can either go with a preset difficulty, or you can go with kind of a custom approach and modify the starting funds, starting panic, and so on and so forth. I've been playing my campaign through on the Soldier with the Iron Man mode active, as I just feel it keeps me honest. However, I would say that one aspect of this game is that I found it very difficult so far. I'm not super familiar with the original Xenonauts or the XCOM 1994 version that it's based off of, but it is a very difficult game, no doubt, very unforgiving, and I'll come around to that a bit in the combat section. But I would highly recommend, if you're new to the game, to go through the tutorial mode. It is very robust and covers a lot of different information. And I would also consider playing on the recruit mode if you're not familiar with the game and don't want to be punished all the time every time you make a mistake. So that is how we set the game up on the settings mode. So here we are in the screen that's called the Geoscape, and this is where you're going to play the strategic portion of the game. And let me tell you, it makes up quite a big portion of the game. You will spend a lot of time on this screen. So you have your basic resource here, which is funds, and there is also going to be other resources available as you conduct missions and kill aliens, for example. You will get different substances and materials that you can use to build other items. So on the Geoscape screen, we can see kind of the orientation, and this is where UFOs will fly in and you'll get prompted to do missions, for example. And you can assign your interceptors to attack UFOs, or your Sky, let me just double check the name, is the Skyhawk, and you can dispatch that to landing sites and such. Now, you have the main base screen where there is obviously an element of strategy. You see the rooms get synergy, so they get adjacency bonuses as you build. So 10 living capacity and +4 for every adjacent room. So building in squares is a good idea. And it's fairly simplistic and self-explanatory what each room does. I actually would have liked to have seen some more rooms as part of this, so I was a little underwhelmed with the amount of different functionalities the rooms had. I would like to have seen maybe some mixed functionality rooms and things like that as well. Next is the research screen. This is fairly straightforward as well. You get a preview of what projects are available to you, and you can simply click research. Again, I felt like this is lacking a little bit of detail here. I would have liked to have been able to preview what items or vehicles or whatever it is this research is going to give me. Instead, you can simply select start research and that just takes it away, and you have that little blurb about what it is, but once it's ongoing you see nothing. Engineering screen, again very straightforward, nothing too rocket sciencey about this. You can build different pieces of equipment and vehicles as they become available. You can build pretty much everything here. What I would say on this side of things is it can be a bit overwhelming with the amount of items, so definitely be discerning with what you build in the beginning. Don't just spam the latest item because you've unlocked it, for example. This is where I have enjoyed the customization of the game a lot. You have your soldiers here, and they have all these different attributes that make up their abilities, so health, time units, accuracy, strength, reflexes, and bravery. And so you're going to look for different things in different soldiers, and it's all going to depend on the role that they have. If you're, for example, a sniper, I would suggest looking for people with high accuracy, and I would also suggest high time units as well, as sniper rifles take a lot, as we'll see when I look at showcase some of the combat. So this is where I spend a lot of time kind of customizing my loadouts and having a look at my guys a bit more in depth, and I'll come onto the armory screen as well where we can look into that a bit more. Store screen, very simplistic. It just is the equipment you've built, the equipment you've collected on your missions, and so on and so forth. Nothing rocket sciencey there either. Armory screen is probably my favorite screen. This is where I grow attached to my people before I get them killed. You can see some cool stats, nationality, age, but I like the missions and kills, and it is really cool as they accumulate medals. When I jump into my later game in a moment, I'll show you guys how this looks, but essentially you can earn these gallantry citations, and that's, I just read the name of that one, but these medals essentially, and they will give bonuses to their attributes, which is pretty cool, so you can kind of build up your guys as you go. You can also customize their loadouts, which I spend a lot of time doing, as I found some strategies that really work for me in the kind of tactical combat phase of the game. Then finally we have the aircraft screen, and this also has a degree of customization, although a lot less than with the troops. The technologies and equipment you get for your planes are less frequent on this side. Then the Xenopedia, where you can just pretty much go over any past pop-ups that have come. Maybe you've clicked by them and you want to reread them. So it's a nice little feature to have. So I will jump into the combat portion, but I'll use my later game to highlight a bit more of the advanced features as well and how the game progresses. And here we are a little ways down the road to kind of showcase how the game evolves for you. So you can see I've been working on my main base here and adding a lot of different features to emphasize research. I've also added a lot of radar arrays. I'm adding another one to further increase my range of the where I can detect UFOs. I've also subsequently done LT Gaming US base, where I'm starting to build some air capacity there and radar arrays as well, so I can intercept a greater amount of UFOs and work on keeping the panic scores down, which are getting a little out of control in certain regions like Latin America, for example. And so from here I can, launch aircraft, construct new bases as well, and look at the funding report, which is kind of your lifeline. If you lose regions, you're going to lose their funding, and I think things will quickly unravel from there. You can also see, for example, if we look at the research, we can talk about what I meant when I could use a bit more information on this screen, as well as with the engineering. It can be a bit overwhelming information-wise, though the engineering screen is not too bad in its functionality. In Xenonauts 2, strategic elements and combat mechanics take center stage, distinguishing it from other games in the genre. Whilst the premise of defending Earth from an alien invasion is reminiscent of Firaxis' XCOM reboot, Xenonauts 2 delves deeper into the mil-sim style of immersion and stays true to the challenging difficulty of the 90s series. One of the standout features is the intense level of realism. Your soldiers' lives hang by a thread, literally, as a single plasma round ends their lives. Combat outcomes are determined by percentage-based rolls and influenced by factors such as cover, weapons range, and smoke from explosions. And this level of detail adds a real depth and tension to every encounter. I can't tell you the amount of times early on that I rushed forward and was flanked and my guys were just wiped out. So it makes each move, each shot, a calculated risk, and you should always have that in mind. In my experience, attempting to approach Xenonauts 2 with a personal touch is an absolute mistake. Do not name your soldiers, do not get attached to them. They will die. You will lose troops in this game, and so stay detached. Do not get too focused on an individual troop or too attached to them. You really need to think in a very business mindset and not really place too much emphasis on sentimentality. Xenonauts 2 is an enjoyable game that successfully blends challenging tactical combat with resource management. The game offers a unique experience that will test your strategic abilities and really keep you engaged. The aesthetic and vibe of the Geoscape, for example, where you make your critical decisions and manage your resources, really contributed for me to the immersive atmosphere of the game. However, there are certain areas where Xenonauts 2 falls short. The lack of variety in maps and the bland air combat portion of the game were disappointing. I do feel like given the amount of development this game's had for the length of time, it could have had more depth and excitement to add to the overall game experience. And I'd also say in terms of graphics and audio, while they were satisfactory, they didn't really leave a lasting impression for me. In conclusion, despite its shortcomings, Xenonauts 2 provided a lot of fun and enjoyment for me. It successfully combines difficult tactical combat with resource management and offers a challenging gameplay experience. However, it is evident that the game could benefit from further development, more content and additional features to enhance its overall polish. And the glimmer of hope here is that they said in the game that it is 65% complete right now and it will be kind of continuously updated. So with future updates and improvements, Xenonauts 2 has the potential to become a really stellar game. So, should you buy Xenonauts 2? Yes, I believe you should. If this is your genre, it's a definite buy from me. And I think if you've enjoyed the past games, you're going to have a lot of fun here as well. I've been Tom for LT Gaming. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this Should You Buy review. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye now.